When most people think of Taipei, they probably think of boba, night markets, and maybe that viral Taipei 101 climb recently. Hiking? Probably not at the top of the list. But here's the thing, Taipei is actually an incredible hiking city. And while I'm traveling right now, I thought this would be a good time to share a hike from last year that never made it to the channel. If this is your first time on my channel, I'm Linda, and I make videos about hiking transformation and trail guides to some of my favorite trails. After my Kumano pilgrimage last year, I spent some time in Taiwan and hiked a few local trails there. I'll be sharing more of those soon, so it felt right to start with one of the most popular and accessible trails in Taipei, the Four Beasts Hike. The Four Beasts Hike is made up of 4 peaks named after animals: elephant, tiger, leopard, and lion. It's part of the Nangang Mountains, in the southeast corner of central Taipei. It's roughly 3 to 5 miles with around 600 to 1300 feet of climbing, depending on route variation. Now, most people only hike the Elephant Mountain section for the skyline view, and I get it, it's iconic. But if you have a little bit more time, doing the Four Beasts hike is so much more rewarding. For this hike, I recommend starting from the Tiger Mountain, or Hushan, and working your way towards Elephant Mountain, also known as Xiangshan. The Tiger Mountain trailhead begins right behind this really ornate Taoist temple, which is absolutely worth visiting on its own. And as I would soon discover, that was just the first of many temples I'd encountered on this trail. Not long after starting, I was greeted by a curious cat, on the Tiger Trail no less. I briefly chatted with a local hiker who immediately recognized the cat as a regular in the area, which somehow made the moments feel even more charming.
一阵子之后才有上来，就看到这边有2、3只猫。
对啊，
它这个是比较应该是后来生的，
可能是不是被人家放生了还是怎么样？是不是？
我是在想它的父母可能就是山猫生的，因为原本这边我有看见有3只，
哦，
它可能就是其中1只。
嘿嘿，哎呦，想咬我呢。
Then the hike got serious pretty quickly. The climb up Tiger Mountain doesn't mess around. It's basically a relentless set of stairs right from the start. And for a while it felt like I was climbing straight up through the trees with no end in sight. But eventually the trail leveled out, and the dense greenery began to open up. And then I got my first real glimpse of the Taipei skyline, with Taipei 101 soaring in the distance. That contrast is one of the things I love the most about hiking here. 1 minute, you're in the middle of a busy city, and the next, you're climbing through the forest with these skyline views opening up all around you. These mountains aren't tall peaks by any means, but they offer something I really appreciate: a genuine sense of escape without actually having to leave the city very far behind. From there, I continued towards Leopard Mountain, or Baoshan as the locals call it. Somewhere around this section, I ran into an older hiker who was very eager to give me trail insights and directions, even though I hadn't actually asked for them. But he was friendly, clearly knew these trails inside and out, and seemed to be one of those people who hikes here all the time. And somehow, this wouldn't be the last time I saw him. He kept reappearing later on the trail, all the way until Lion Mountain. It was kind of endearing, actually. That's another thing I appreciate about hikes like this. Even though you're so close to the city, there's still this real sense of trail culture here. Regular hikers, familiar faces, and people who know the terrain like the back of their hand. It feels like a real community. Between the Leopard Mountain and Lion Mountain, There weren't any major uphill climbs, which made this section feel a bit more relaxed. And this was also when I started noticing just how many temples were scattered along the trail. I really didn't expect to see so many. There were temples tucked along the trail, temples peeking out from the hillside, and at one point I came across one of these very colorful prayer flags that reminded me of Tibetan temples. Between the temples, the incense, and the stair climbs, the whole hike almost started to feel like a small urban pilgrimage. I even spotted a monk coming down the stairs from one of the temples, carrying a stack of flattened boxes for recycling. I asked him if I could go up and take a look at the temple, and he said of course and pointed me in the right direction. So I started climbing the stairs towards it. But about halfway up, I suddenly heard barking. Two intimidating dogs were standing in front of the temple, barking aggressively in a way that made it very clear I was not welcome. And at that point, I decided the dogs had made the final call, so I turned around and continued the hike. Lion Mountain, or Shishan, was probably the most unremarkable section of the four beasts for me. It felt more enclosed in the forest. The trails seemed a little more overgrown, and there weren't any big payoff views. But even that added to the variety of the hike in a way. That's kind of the charm of the Four Beasts route as a whole. It's not just one famous viewpoint. It keeps shifting between stairs, temples, city overlooks, and these quieter stretches where it feels like you've stepped away from Taipei entirely. It's almost like each beast has its own personality.
对，不是这个不是路吗？那一条好像比较大，就是应该都可以。走。好啊。走到里面去。好。旁边有一条岔路，那一条不要管它。嗯，好，谢谢。
From Lion Mountain, I continued towards the last peak, Elephant Mountain. Everything was going smoothly until I missed the point where I was supposed to turn left and head up another set of stairs. I backtracked a little and realized I wasn't the only one who had missed it. I found myself among a group of German tourists who had made the exact same mistake. So for a while, I hiked behind them as we all tried to get back on track. At one junction, I noticed a sign pointing towards a badminton court, which felt like a very strange thing to see in the middle of a mountain trail. Honestly, it was a little spooky. This was probably the last place I expected to hear about a badminton court, and we never saw the badminton courts. I was glad to have accidental hiking companions. Pretty soon after that, I started to see more and more hikers, which made sense because by then I was approaching the most famous part of the route, Elephant Mountain, or Xiangshan. There are several viewing decks here, and the signs made it pretty easy to find them. This is the section most people know, and for good reason. The views over Taipei are beautiful, especially with Taipei 101 standing so prominently in the skyline. But after doing the Four Beasts hike, what stood out to me the most was that Elephant Mountain really feels like the finale of the whole experience. It's the busiest and most photographed section, but the quieter parts that come before it are what make this full hike so rewarding. That's where the hike really surprised me. Most people probably don't think of Taipei as a hiking destination, but throughout this trail I was amazed by how much variety you can experience just within a short walk from a subway station. Temples, dense trees, skyline views, forest trails, the city energy below, and the quiet moments where it almost felt like I was on an urban pilgrimage. And that's what I love about hiking in Taipei. I don't have to go far to experience nature. I can literally surround myself with it, right in the middle of a bustling city. I'll be sharing more hikes from Taiwan soon, and they show even more of the variety of trails you can find here. If you're enjoying this video, you might consider subscribing to this channel. I'll also leave all the hike details in the description below if you're interested in doing this hike yourself. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next trail.